My presentation is over Northeast United States, and if you look to the map on the left, the area with the red star is the area considered to be Northeast United States. To be a little more specific, states like Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania are all areas zoned to be considered Northeast United States. And if you look down below at the map, the areas highlighted in red are areas that are zoned. Some history for Northeast United States would be examples like some of the 13 colonies were settled here, so whenever America was first starting out and settling over here, some of the 13 colonies were located here. The earliest European settlers of the New England colonies came in search of religious freedom. Because of the areas they were coming from, they were only allowed to believe in one thing, and America was seen as the perfect place to get freedom. The Statue of Liberty is a very important historical figure almost, because the Statue of Liberty was a gift from the French people commemorating the alliance of France and the United States during the American Revolution, and this was around like 1875. So it has always been seen as a figure for freedom of whatever people want to believe in or speak of. Some important literature would be things like the Declaration of Independence, which was adopted by the Continental Congress on July 4th, 1776. This was a very important piece of literature to America because it was when we were declaring independence from Great Britain and seeking independence and freedom. This led to the American Revolution, which shaped America. Another important piece of literature that is still used today is the first 10 amendments, which make up parts of the Constitution. The Bill of Rights was written by James Madison, and Madison was instructed by Jefferson to write these because he was worried that a centralized government would trample on the rights of citizens and the individual states. So he had Madison write these to just make sure everybody always had their rights. The literature in today's time is mostly influenced by New England just because of where they came from and how we came to today. Some food that is important in Northeast United States is centralized in different areas. It's not all the same. So like in areas around Massachusetts, cranberries are very big because Massachusetts is the cranberry capital of the world. And just in general, Northeast United States, major fish and seafood is centralized just because they're major exporters and where they are located near oceans and such. Chowders originated in the Northeast United States and they spread throughout the world, but they started there, so chowders have always been very important. And then something that just all around America is very common but not common in other places would be baked beans, which are a staple item for this area. Some entertainment that is very common is centralized in New York and on a special street actually called Broadway, which a lot of people have heard of before. Even though there are many famous sites along several miles of Broadway, one small stretch comes to mind when most people hear the term Broadway. It's the part of Broadway between 42nd and 53rd Street. And this is including areas like Times Square, and it's considered to be the home of the American theater industry. Musicals and plays are most common on the street. Movies and just all kinds of entertainments are much centralized in New York. Language is very different in certain parts of Northeast United States. Some slang that is common in places like Boston would be like bubbler, which is water fountain, or like bagged, which is arrested. And if you look in the chart to the right, there are lots of examples of things that we don't typically say, but they say, and it's commonly known to them just because it's words that have evolutionized along with the language. There are specific dialects along with different areas. So to summarize pretty much all of this area's accents almost, the TH sounds become Ds and words get smashed together easily. In some areas, their Rs are substituted with an H. The mix of ethnicities really builds a creation of their own type of accent and dialect. Altogether, it's still English though, just different variations of some aspects of the English language. Whether it's food, entertainment, literature, history, or whatever comes to mind whenever people think of Northeast United States, even today, things that happen here are spread throughout the world. And Northeast United States may have been settled later than other areas, but it has always been a contribution to the rest of the world.